Okay? Got that? Whatever happens to the person in debt, and when death happens also, we will talk about in a little bit. But in other words, whatever happens, as long as the debt time is not up, meaning it's not time to pay it back as agreed, then the one whose money belonged to has no right to ask for it. Right? Including bankruptcy, the fleece. If I owe you $1,000 that I'm supposed to pay next month, and today I go bankrupt, you still don't have the right to come and ask me for it. We established already the rule that you do not have the right to ask for your money of someone in debt before it's time due, okay, or the due time, or the due date. Also, if this person who owes the money goes bankrupt, you still don't have the right to ask for it before its due date. Okay, so don't say, oh, he's bankrupt, maybe he still have some money, then I can take him to court, for example, to do hajr on him, to freeze his money so they can pay me off. Okay? No, you still don't have the right, and if you do it, أنت آثم. ثم يقول ولا بموته إذا وثقه الورثة برهن أو كفيل. Now the next issue in the statement of Ibn Qudamah about his death. If someone who's in debt and dies, what do we do? Okay? If someone owes money and dies, what do we do? If someone bought a car in financing, he paid 2 months and he bought it over 5 years, he paid 2 months and died. Maybe he got into an accident in the car, I don't know. But he died. What do we do? Alright? So that is something that ulama have discussed. And something that we need to understand what is the right etiquette and what's the right thing. And the ulama have two different opinions. One opinion is the opinion of al-Hanabila, and one opinion is the opinion of al-Jumhur, the majority of Ahl al-Ilm, including some of the Hanabila. Okay? According to Ibn Qudamah rahimahullah, as in his book, Umdat al-Fiqh, he said, when someone dies and he's in debt, and the debt, let's say, in 2 months, because we're talking about this issue, the one that the debt belongs to, meaning the one who owes the money, the one who has the money, or who owns the money, or the money will be paid to, the lender, if he can use lender if it's an issue of loan, the seller if it's an issue of selling and buying and you still did not pay it off, doesn't have the right still, even after the death of the person who's in debt, with conditions. There's a condition. As long as the heirs or the people who are going to inherit him can bring a collateral, provide a collateral, or provide a guarantor, kafil. Okay. Let's give an example. The same guy who bought the car, he came and he bought it from brother Jamal. He bought a car and he's supposed to pay him over the next 12 months. The man paid the first 2 months and died. So let's say the car was $1,200, he paid him $200 and he still owes $1,000 and he died. Now this person who died got people to inherit him. وَلِكُلٍّ جَعَلْنَا مَوَالِيَ مِمَّا تَرَكَ الْوَالِدَانِ وَالْأَقْرَبُونَ. He got some people who are going to inherit him. Now, he paid his second payment and he died. Let's say he died today. Today is the 27th. And his next payment is the 27th of November. Okay? If the buyer dies today, then Jamal who sold the car gonna come to the heirs, to the inheritors, and tell them, let's say the father, your father owes me how much? $1,000, and you guys need to pay. But we know the $1,000 is not due until
10 months.
no, 27 is only $100. 27 of next month, then 27 of next. So the whole thing is not due for 10 months, but partially every month. But let's stick with the next payment. Next payment is not due until next month. So Jamal, the guy who sold the car, wants his money because the guy did. He said, that's it, he's dead. Before you guys distribute the mirath and his inheritance, pay his debt. So the opinion of Ibn Qudamah Al-Hanabila, they said they don't have to pay it before it's time, because it's not time yet. So in other words, his debt has moved and been inherited as well. Okay? They don't have to pay it before time. That is agreed on. So the agreement continues. But to be qualified for this, because most probably they're going to distribute his money, and you don't want just to give away the inheritance and then Jamal, no one going to pay him. So they said the only way that this will be permissible, that he doesn't have the right to ask before the 27th of November, is if the heirs or the inheritors provide collateral or kafil, guarantor. If they cannot provide either, then he is entitled to ask for his money, and he can take it to court. Got it? You guys got the point? So as long as there is provision, or there is a providing of collateral or guarantor, that if they don't pay, this guarantor gonna pay. If they don't pay, he can take this collateral and benefit from it. Then they don't have that privilege, the heirs, and they have to pay him, and he can take them to court. Alright? That is the opinion of Al-Hanabi. The opinion of the Jumhur, or the majority of the ulama, no. They said they have to pay it right there. Remember, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Al-mayyit mu'allaqun bidaynih," or ruh al-mayyit. The soul of the dead person is hanging by its debt. So if he's in debt, his soul is just hanging, doesn't know what's going to happen. Prophet ﷺ didn't pray on someone because he was in debt. When someone died, the Prophet ﷺ came to pray on him. He said, is he in debt? They said yes. He held the salah until the debt was paid. Got it? So these are issues. That is where you find the difference in opinion. And we will go, just it's worth to discuss to see why this opinion and why is that opinion based on that in the dalil. So we'll take it. Let's see. So in other words, before we start with the dalil, we see that the majority of the ulama said, Jamal has the right to ask for the debt to be paid off before they divide the inheritance. The other people say, or Hanabila, including Ibn Qudamah, he said, no, he doesn't have the right as long as they provide him collateral or guarantor. So in this way, they said, the money of the inheritors preserved, and the money of the lender or the seller, the one who owes the debt, preserved. For example, we are inheritors. When someone dies and we're supposed to inherit him, his money becomes ours. True? So if we're going to say that we have to pay off his debt before we take the inheritance, that can be harmful to us. So if he's leaving behind $10,000 and his debt is $10,000, then we as heirs or as inheritors will end up with nothing. That is harmful to us. If we go with the other way, without asking for guarantor or collateral, then it's harmful for the seller or the lender. So there got to be a way in between to preserve the rights of those and the rights of those. That is where the opinion of Al-Hanabila and the opinion of Ibn Qudamah is a very strong opinion. Because when you ask for guarantor or collateral, you're preserving the rights of the seller or the lender, the one who will be paid the debt. And if you don't require that they pay on the spot before they divide the inheritance, you preserve the money of the heirs, the people who are inheriting the money. And those people could be in need. Those people could be the kids, little kids of this dead person. Those people could be the wife of this dead person. Okay, could be the parents of this dead person. So very important that, and the Islam came to preserve the money of everyone. Okay, حقوق المال, حفظ المال.